Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I am Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman, and we are going to be reviewing the race from Texas Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Jay, your overall thoughts about this race?
Well, I thought it was a good race. Get the same result, if you will. Kyle Larson coming down, winning the race. However, I think this was an absolutely different storyline all the way to around. You know, he was filling in for injured driver Connor Zilic, so it wasn't even the normal car he'd be in, prepared by Hendrick Motorsports. I know it's a junior motorsports team, and they got a good team, but they had to start in the back, being that it was a driver change. So the storyline was vastly different, and I'll give a little bit of an opinion on that at the end. I don't know that he necessarily won this race. I think he was given this race.
Okay, a little preview there. All right. Well, yeah, this was an interesting race. Kyle Larson, anytime he comes into the Xfinity Series, we can expect him to be racing hard. And this was no exception. But it didn't come necessarily easy for him either. In fact, Marty Lindley was the one who made the call after Kyle Larson subbed for Connor Zilic, who still had a little bit of a back issue after his race last week. They asked Kyle Larson to fill in for him. I was kind of wondering why they asked Kyle Larson. Why didn't they go with one of the development drivers? But anyway, that's just another thing. And probably because of the owner's points is what I'm guessing. But anyway, crew chief Marty Lindley made the call, and he told Kyle Larson, we've got to stop if we want to win. So they brought Kyle Larson in the number 88 Junior Motorsports Chevrolet. And Lindley was right. Larson made a late pit stop and proceeded to win Saturday's Andy's Frozen Custard 300 at Texas Motor Speedway, but he had to survive 2 overtimes to make that happen. In a caution-filled double overtime in the Xfinity Series race, Kyle Larson won, filling in for Connor Zilic, and he needed to make a pass from the outside lane in the second overtime to be able to score that victory. It was his second victory in 3 starts this season. Taylor Gray escaped the carnage in order to finish a career best second place. Riley Earps made a late rally for a third place finish. Stage 2 winner Austin Hill placed 4th. And then Sam Mayer dropping 4 spots in double overtime to round out the top 5. The next 5 drivers were Harrison Burton, Jesse Love, Ryan Sieg, Brandon Jones, and Jeb Burton rounding out the top 10. But it was Justin Allgaier who led a race high 99 laps and won the opening stage. But he was involved in a wreck during the final stage, and he ended up finishing in 35th place. There were 12 lead changes among 6 drivers, 11 cautions for 62 yellow flag laps. The average speed of the race was 106.424 miles per hour. And the highest finishing rookie, of course, was Taylor Gray, who finished in second place. And the fastest lap award for this race went to the number 7, Justin Allgaier, on lap 114. He hit a lap of 29.824. So the margin of victory, 1.265 seconds. So your thoughts, Jay, about the top 10 drivers here?
Well, as I said, Kyle Larson wins. The finish, the storyline there is the same. However, how it was written was a little bit different. You mentioned that they said that in order to win it, we have to pit. Had the multiple cautions not come out, and the restarts the way they did, I don't think Kyle Larson was going to get there. When you look at the stat line, you mentioned Justin Allgaier, and I'll come back to him. He's not in the top 10, but led 3 times for 99 laps. Then you had Austin Hill 3 times for 57 laps. Kyle Larson actually only led twice for 32 laps, and those
That's
final
typical Kyle
couple.
Larson.
And those
That's
final
typical Kyle
couple.
Larson.
Well, not when you look at the dominance we've seen, but again, that's in a race he's prepared for, planned for.
Yes.
Hendrick Motorsports prepared car. One of the questions you kind of asked, remember Corey Day was in this race in the 17 Hendrick Motorsports machine. So that might be why, again, they had to find somebody else.
Right.
With that, again, the multiple restarts, overtime restarts, let alone through the rest of the race, played into Kyle's favor. I mean, that's one of those where I said he was kind of given the opportunity. I won't say he was given the race. He was given the opportunity to get it, which I don't think he was going to outright racing on the track. He would have gained on him, but I don't think he would have caught him.
But the restart gave him that opportunity. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. And you'd give a driver that talent and quality, as you mentioned, doing it on the outside and getting through it. You're taking your chances there. Trying to think about how to put this semi-politely, but a couple of weeks ago he said he likes to come down and embarrass the field by whooping them. I think in this case, the field kind of embarrassed themselves because if they hadn't been wrecking and tearing each other up, he wouldn't have won it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I think there's some truth to that. I think they wanted to beat him because of what he had said, and
shot themselves in the foot.
Shot themselves in the foot in the process. So I think the intent was there, but that's what this is all about, is giving them that opportunity. But then they've got to really kind of be more level-headed about it. And you never know. They could come back the next time and really make something happen. Lessons learned, hopefully.
Right. And we saw that, and I know part of it is the track. I get that, of a challenging track when it comes to that. But like you said, you got to be level-headed about it. If that's your whole determination of trying to, you didn't do a very good job. Because like I said, I feel like he was, and like I said, not given the race itself, but given the opportunity to take it from him. It's not like he had that dominant car as he has had in the past. There are some other, I think, really great storylines within the top 10, though, as it turns out. You mentioned rookie Taylor Gray, and we saw him almost get a win already this year. I really think he's going to be the next rookie to win a race. Riley Herbst third. We saw him in the Xfinity Series for years. A lot of people saying he didn't have the talent, couldn't get it done. I think you're seeing that, hey, a little bit of confidence and whatnot. You come back down, you finish third, which is where I think he should be in a Joe Gibbs machine. So right there where he should be. Then you have Austin Hill, who we know is strong. Again, led the second most laps. Sam Mayer in contention. I mentioned to Sharon offline before we got started. I didn't have it set to record extra time, so I actually didn't get to see the final restart and how that played out. So I don't know what exactly happened to Sam Mayer, but he was one of the top two, if not three, and kind of got shuffled out. Unfortunate. Yeah, but again, having just a strong season. Then you got Harrison Burton, Jesse Love, who we have come to expect. Ryan Sieg, they're again in the top 10. I know we talked about this of having a shot at the win last year, or just a heartbreaker. Had a good race, stayed in it, avoided what he had to. And then Brandon Jones and Jeb Burton, again, having the very solid years. And right outside the top 10, just like when we look at points, just outside, that number 11 of Daniel Dye, another rookie. Man, they're steady. Again, they're not up top 5 knocking on the door yet, but they are steadily hanging around and getting the finishes, running well and getting the finishes. So, and then a big shout out. I know this one, again, he could have had better, but William Sawalich didn't get a top 10, but 13th. I don't know if that's his best on the year, but boy, it's got to feel like a win for him at this point in the season.
Yes, it's got to feel like a win. I was going to shout him out too for his good finish, because he has struggled throughout the season, and to see him finally get that finish has to feel like a win for him. There were some issues for some of the drivers. We mentioned Christian Eckes. One of the rookies had an engine issue that took him out of the race early. He was out on lap 47. On lap 97, Josh Williams had an accident that took him out of the race. Sheldon Creed out on lap 104 due to an accident. Justin Allgaier, we mentioned he had an accident, took him out of the race on lap 155. Vibration for Leland Honeyman took him out of the race on lap 165. The rest of the cars, no, well, there is one other one here that had an accident. Jeremy Clements, we've seen him running up near the top 5 or top 10. And he ended up having a little bit of an accident that kind of waylaid him a little bit. He did finish 200 laps of the 208 laps that were run. As far as lead lap cars, 20 cars. Nick Sanchez was the last car on the lead lap in this race. His finish doesn't really reflect how well he actually ran. So that's kind of deceiving there. But there were 20 cars on the lead lap. The rest of the cars, with the exception of the one accident, 33 cars finished the race. Actually, it's 32 cars that finished the race, be it maybe a lap or more down. So 12 cars were a lap or more down.
Justin Allgaier is one of, we know what a driver he is, a championship, defending champion, actually. Just trying to come up with new ways to lose races because, again, I think he had the dominant car, which, again, I don't think Kyle Larson was matching him when it comes to that. We saw him have the fastest speed. And again, that might be a hot topic, but got into a slower lap car as he was trying to work his way through the field. Sheldon Creed, unfortunate break. Again, I don't know that he was as good as his teammate Sam Mayer, but certainly was up there, top 10, and mixing it up. You hit on Nick Sanchez. We always like to look at how the rookies kind of run in packs. I think Eckes is one of those that right now is on the downward slide. When we look at the points, I'll talk about where he's at now. Instead of being at the top of the list, he's at the bottom. But and I don't remember what it was, something in the engine or something with the car itself. Okay, I thought it was an engine let go. Having a tough go of it right now, but we had seen where he was very solid prior to that, or to this race. Like I said, just a couple of bad weeks. Hopefully that doesn't continue.
Let's go ahead and cover the points now then too, because I know there's some interesting things happening in the points as well.
Well, the one interesting thing is Justin Allgaier's point lead has shrunk. It is now down to 51. He had built up, I believe it was 80 to 90 maybe last week, but Austin Hill second in points with 3 wins versus Justin Allgaier's 2. They have 21 and 14 points respectively, Hill with the 21. So that's going to be huge when it comes time for the reseeding. Third place mentioned Sam Mayer having a good year, the top driver without a win in third place. Then you have Jesse Love, Brandon Jones, each with a win. Jesse Love with a stage win as well, so has 6 playoff points. Then you have rookie Carson Cavapo without a win, but still up there in the top 6. Then Jeb Burton, Ryan Sieg, Sammy Smith, and Harrison Burton, your top 10. 11th and 12th is Sheldon Creed and Connor Zilisch. Now, Zilisch missed the race, but has already been granted the playoff waiver. Again, he's sitting out due to injury, soreness from the Talladega crash, and now has, I believe, 2 weeks before they run again at Charlotte, so we'll see him back. Right now, he has a win, which puts him into the playoffs anyway, but is still holding on to the 12th spot regardless, even with missing that race. Then we get into the, call it rookie report. 13th, first one out. Zilisch is at 299, 6 points. Daniel Dye at 293. The top rookie there as far as this pack. We have one rookie in Carson Cavapo right now. Okay. So Daniel Dye, Taylor Gray, Nick Sanchez, Dean Thompson in 13th through 16th. Brennan Poole has actually gotten ahead of Christian Eckes. Ecky's in 18th. And then William Sawalich again down there in 18th. Hopefully his luck is turning around. But at one point, Christian Eckes was the one in 13th, 14th, right there as the top of that rookie pack versus Daniel Dye. Dye's been improving. Taylor Gray, and we've seen that again, almost having that win. Should be in the playoffs, if you will, already with the win, but didn't get it. So Nick Sanchez, and this is kind of a toss-up. I said Taylor Gray, the next one to get the win as far as a rookie. Nick Sanchez, you mentioned it, where he finished was not indicative of where he ran by any means. He could very well, especially at particular tracks, and I know Texas is one that favors him. He led, I thought he actually led. He only led one lap, but was up there mixing it up. Yeah, he certainly was up towards the front and mixing it up.
Yes, I really, I'm keeping an eye on these rookies too. We said at the beginning of the season that this was the rookie battle to watch, and it certainly has proven out to be the case. And I'm really, I really think Texas Motor Speedway is not a rookie track, number one. So the fact that Taylor Gray was able to pull off a second place finish at a track that does not favor rookies really impresses me. They've got the flat side of turns 1 and 2 with the bank side on turns 3 and 4. And it's hard to navigate both of those different sides of the track. So it really lends itself more toward the drivers that have more experience at that track and have kind of figured things out. Rookies need time to figure that out. And unfortunately for Christian Eckes, he did not get that chance with the engine failure that he had to really spend some time on that track. So that's unfortunate, but they will be back at Texas this year. So those people that did get a chance to race on that track will be a little bit more prepared when they go back for the second Texas race. But even like you say, the points battle is heating up a little bit, if you will, with Justin Allgaier losing with his finish at Texas. He lost a lot of points and a lot of advantage that he had. I think it was either 81 or 87 points difference between first and second last week. So that's now down to 51, as you pointed out. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how it continues to play out. Austin Hill is looking mighty good on some of these 1.5 mile tracks in addition to the super speedways. And the real key to all of this, and where Justin Allgaier kind of exceeds the rest of the drivers sometimes, is that he's good on a lot of different types of tracks. And that's kind of the task at hand for these other up and coming drivers is to, develop their craft on all the different types of tracks in order to give Justin Allgaier a run for his money. And Austin Hill is certainly doing that, I would say.
Most certainly, and I know it's been talked about, and he's getting some starts this year, Austin Hill, in the Cup Series, because they've said as far as the Xfinity Series, he really has proven everything he needs to, winning races, winning on, performing well on all styles of track, maybe not necessarily winning, but certainly capable of contending on all styles of tracks, just like Justin Allgaier. So I still think in a year or two, I think he just re-signed with Richard Childress Racing. I feel like that part of that deal had to be, hey, we got something for you. We just need you to wait a little bit longer. I know we talked about that as far as one of our hot topics a few weeks ago.
Yes. Is there anything else you wanted to mention here with the NASCAR Xfinity Series?
Well, one thing you hit on, and I will say, not just to the rookies, but all drivers, of it being a green track there at Texas. They had rain showers on Friday that washed out practice and qualifying for both the Truck Series and the Xfinity. And I know they talked about that, really did put a hamper on the rookies. There were some drivers that hadn't even seen that track in any of NASCAR level. some that had in other series, but not in the Truck or Xfinity, whichever they were in. So overall, I know we had multiple cautions, but again, that is a challenging track. You mentioned the two different styles and turns and the banking, as well as, and I'm trying to think if it was turn 2 or turn 4, the bump that's there, the tunnel turn bump. And we saw in the cup level, I mean, that bit a couple of veteran drivers. I think I got it in the hot topics of the infield grass. Again, is that on the drivers or the track? And we'll talk about that come hot topics later on tonight. Well, okay, so as you saw this weekend, there were a couple of incidences where they were getting into the grass and it messing up the cars and whatnot. But the overall discussion has been ongoing for multiple years, going back to especially tracks like Daytona, anywhere where there's infield grass. There are some that are very adamant. They feel all grass around any track should be eliminated and gone to concrete or asphalt, and then whatever decoration you want painted on to avoid the issues.
Well, I know they have to pay for that. They have to pay into that if they mess up that grass.
And this weekend there, and again, I don't want to get too in depth, but they were trying to go too low and hooking the grass. It's going to be both sided. Is there a safety factor, but also then of the risk of like what happened this weekend? They were driving too low and getting into it.
Well, I know there was one case, and I don't know if it was Daniel Suarez or who it was, but somebody avoided hitting that grass. And it almost caused an accident, but I couldn't fault the driver for trying to avoid going off the track there and into the grass.
Oh, there were multiple in the Truck Series Xfinity as well as in the Cup. Ricky Stenhouse, I know, went through it, and that's where it's a safety issue. Because that one wasn't that he drove in it. That one was kind of got pushed or went to avoid and managed to get through it relatively safely. But we'll talk about that in hot topics.
Anything else that you wanted to point out with regard to the Xfinity Series race?
No, again, overall, I thought it was a good race. Like I said, the ending that happens, I get that. Guys get a little aggressive, especially one restart at the end. You can expect probably one more, when it comes to overtime, because, they got that one in final and only shot. So it happens. Overall, like I said, being that they hadn't got practice in, it was kind of a green track. I thought it was a good race. I really did.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. Do watch for more coming soon on Fan for Racing Radio. Earlier today, Sal and I did the ARCA East at Nashville review. We also did the Truck Series at Texas review. And we were able to do an interview with team owner, ARCA West team owner, Jan Qualkenbush at his race shop. And it was quite interesting. He gave us a tour of the cars, showed us what was under the hood, and talked a little bit about how he operates, which I thought was pretty fascinating. And I think it's probably happens with a lot of race teams, but we don't always think about it this way. So a really good interview with Jan Qualkenbush, and I will look forward to putting that up. If not tonight, we'll put it up tomorrow morning so that everybody can listen to that interview. It was very, very interesting. He is the team owner for two drivers that we have also interviewed this year, and that's Kyle Keller and Robbie Keneally. So it's kind of cool that we talked to the drivers and the team owner and got some input there. Also, Jay and I just finished the Xfinity Series review, and next on our agenda is the Cup Series review. So we'll look forward to that. And then tonight at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern, and 7 o'clock Pacific time, we're going to be hitting all the biggest topics in NASCAR. There we have a lot on the list, Jay. I don't know if we'll be able to get all of them or not.
Well, that's always it. We always got the opportunity to carry them over. Some weeks are slower than others. I know for the next 2 weeks we won't have Xfinity Series racing, so we'll get to them eventually. Especially if they're the hottest topics, one of us will bring them up and we'll go at it.
Yes, indeed. And that is the live stream. So feel free to join us at that time. And if there's any other hot topics that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments what that topic is. And we'd be happy to include it in our hot topic conversation tonight. So also, we want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Jay, Sal, and I, we have a good time putting these together, and we hope you enjoyed as much as we enjoyed doing it. So, Jay, did you want to say anything before we go?
No, just reiterate what you said. Appreciate y'all watching, and hopefully you interact there come hot topics. I hadn't heard yet if Chris was going to be available tonight. I hope that he is. Okay, good deal. Always enjoy having his perspective. I may not agree with it, but I enjoy him having it.
Yes, indeed. I feel the same. And we'll definitely are looking forward to the rest of the evening. So we'll see you in the next video, everybody. Take care.